And sets another day. Billions will kneel and pray. Anything to aid escape from the world so cold and gray.
Hey! Welcome back to another episode of Bones and Tubs.
Back once again.
Is everybody ready for the apocalypse?
I know I am.
Yeah, I think I am too. I think it's time. You know, it's the end of the world as we know it. And I feel fine.
Yeah.
But yeah, so if you're wondering what we're talking about when we reference that, it's that supposedly China has sent 150,000 troops into North Korea. Why? I don't know. I mean, if it was war games, I feel like they would have said something about it. But they haven't said anything yet.
I know that, let's see, I've been watching Drudge, and it's kind of messed up because our show comes out like a week after everything happens. But just a quick side note, in retrospect, because I'm editing the episode that's going to go up today.
Yeah.
And it's like we were joking about the Patreon account and when if we got enough money to scud missile a country, and then Trump fucking tomahawks the dog shit out of it.
Exactly, yeah.
So, I mean, I'm not saying that we're psychic, but we're psychic.
Yeah, so next week when you're listening to this episode,
yeah,
you'll be listening to it in the crater that once was your house.
Right. I, for one, welcome our Chinese overlords.
Yeah.
It's been a long time coming. But North Korea, you know, everybody knows that they like to come out about once a year and talk crazy, and then we send them a check or whatever happens, and they shut the fuck up. Well, now they're not getting the paycheck, and they're not trying to shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
So Trump is moving a group of warships over into the Korean area in their territory. And it's the same class of ships, I believe. I'm not a naval expert by any means, but I've been around the block a couple times. It's the same type of strike group that shot up Syria. And everybody's been speculating that attack on Syria was unnecessary and all that. And, you know, I'm not disagreeing. But I think it was a political move to tell North Korea to shut the fuck up.
Yeah. And
China is backing North Korea. They moved troops in. North Korea just now said that they'll nuke us, if anything. Let's see. North Korea's state media warns of nuclear strike if provoked as U.S. warships approach.
Now, would you believe me if I said that I believe what we did in Syria was more or less a flex of the muscle, not only to Russia, but to China as well? Because, I mean, here's the thing. When we're talking about Syria and Russia, we're talking about a large nation who has a proxy nation, right?
Yeah.
That they're aligned with, and we bombed them.
Yeah. Just
to see what Russia would do, and Russia did nothing.
Right.
So by that same logic, we have China and North Korea, a big country with a proxy country, and we kind of flexed at China too, like, we'll do the same thing.
Well, I read that he made, I don't really remember the president of China's name, I just picture, like...
It's XY.
Jinpao!
So it's like Z?
Yeah.
I call him Z. It might be wrong, though.
We'll call him Z.
We'll call him Z.
He was at Trump's estate in Florida, and they were getting ready for a meeting, and Trump made him wait over an hour as he bombed the fuck out of Syrian airspace.
Hold on a minute.
And he comes in, he's like, sorry about the wait. I just bombed Syria. Let's talk about North Korea.
And he throws a cum rag in the dumpster.
Yeah. So there's that. And then I also read yesterday, and this is from InfoWars, so take it with whatever amount of salt you want. They like to hype things up, but at the same time, they also talk about things that Project Northwoods and things that woke me up. So
yeah.
But it's written under a pseudonym, and they claim it's a high-level source. And they say that the airspace that we struck was actually a Russian target from a couple months ago. Did you read that story?
Yeah.
And that they had planned on it, so we let them know ahead of time, I guess.
30 minutes before we sent those tomahawks, we let Russia know.
And then I guess they thought it was something else, but it ended up being a chemical munitions place. No, I'm getting it mixed up. I guess this was a thing that wherever the chemical attack came from.
It's okay. They bombed the airbase that the sarin gas attack apparently, where the planes came from that flew out and bombed it. That's what they attacked.
Maybe it's this new fatherhood and lack of sleep. I might just be mixing stories, but I read one where that somebody had struck where they thought it was a munitions depot or something.
Probably, I mean, I wouldn't know if they were a depot, but I would assume an airbase had munitions.
Well, this is before the Syrian attack from Trump.
Okay.
But they struck it and they expected a larger explosion, but all that happened was a giant cloud of gas.
Mm.
And they were like, oh, chemical weapons. And I guess all those weapons went up into the air, and the wind took it into the town.
Good God.
So this is all what they call nowadays fake news.
Yeah. Alternative facts.
This guy on InfoWars, this guy on InfoWars claims that Trump knew what he was doing was false and wrong and all this shit. So they claim he's going to get impeached by the end of the year.
Impeached?
That's what the story says. Well, guess what? I don't think so.
If you can't see it, I'm making a jacking off motion.
Yeah.
Jacking off motion's not good for podcasting, but
This is.
there you go. And that's the audio version of the jacking off motion.
Yeah.
But
So,
yeah.
who knows? I mean, this is, like I said, it's a week late, so hopefully you guys enjoy the episode that comes out today, and hopefully this one makes it to you next week.
Yeah. Or you'll be listening to it in your crater. Just whatever.
That's fine.
I mean, we live in Ohio. I feel like at the end of the day, the only thing we got to worry about is right pad. Other than that, we're pretty slick, probably.
I'm not even too much worried about nuclear bombs as I am like everything else that we have that we don't talk about.
Yeah.
Like you look, I was watching not a documentary, but a comparing video of the size of the bomb we dropped on Hiroshima
Compared to what we have now.
Supposedly the last largest nuclear bomb test was Russia, and I think it was called like the Baby Czar or the Mini Czar.
Yeah.
And it was something on magnitude of like 7,500 or 75,000 times larger than that bomb.
Yeah, like when we're talking about this, we're talking about when the U.S. dropped one. The last one we dropped was, I think, in the late 50s at one of the atolls in the South Pacific.
Mm-hmm.
And that was the last one we ever did. And it was, I want to say, 45 or 50 megatons, which is a 45 or 50 megaton blast set at any destination. Say, like, if you hit London with one. It wouldn't just wipe out London. It would basically wipe out most of England.
Nice.
And part of Scotland.
Yeah.
Like those are country destroyers.
That's good. That's great.
Mm-hmm. It's good, isn't it?
I like the thing that we dropped on China a couple years ago. That Tianjin explosion. They made it look like a chemical explosion.
The rods of God.
Yeah. Google rods of God and tell me you're not terrified now.
Jesus. You know, they told us that the Star Wars program failed, but I don't believe it.
Yeah, that's a great way to move it into black budget territory. Well, we're just going to shut it down.
Yeah, it didn't work. But yeah, so it's the end of the world as we know it, and once again, I feel fine.
Yeah, we've survived plenty of end of the world scenarios.
For a hot second, we wanted to talk about, we dropped audio this week.
Ah, yes.
And
anonymous, not anonymous video.
It was an anonymous, not anonymous video. Check it out if you haven't watched it yet. You might like it, you might not like it. We kind of took swipes at both sides.
Yeah, as we're fond of doing.
It was like a double slap.
Both sides of any argument are ridiculous.
Yeah.
The truth's often in the middle.
Yeah, it's weird that we're the ones crying out for moderation now.
Yeah, it's strange.
Yeah.
Just wanted to clarify that, I don't want to get specific and, trigger anyone, but if you're intelligent enough to understand the argument that taxation is theft, it's not a libertarian standpoint that taxes are bad, because some taxes are passed by law and general approval.
Yeah.
I was talking about the income tax.
Yeah, and that's the thing, like, I've gotten this before too, is people bitching when I say taxation is theft. Don't get it twisted. Some taxes are okay, but, and the thing is, before the income tax, believe it or not, we had infrastructure. So, yeah, fuck you.
How is it funded, though, without taxes?
Well,
especially as it started out as a 1% tax.
See, that's the thing. There's this beautiful thing called sales taxes.
Oh, okay. So consumption.
Consumption taxes. Every kind of consumption tax.
What you would call voluntary.
Yeah, voluntary. Well, it's voluntary. It is to an extent. You're going to have to pay the man.
Right.
But it's from your own pocket that you decided on. So if I'm going to buy a pack of cigarettes or I'm going to go buy some milk, I'm going to pay taxes on that.
Yeah.
And that's me deciding to buy milk or buy cigarettes.
You decided to pay taxes today. Good for you.
Yeah, exactly. Versus the income tax where I went out and earned that money.
Yeah.
And they took it from me.
You worked basically enough, because you have to get a job that has a certain amount of hours.
I mean,
in order to last in the type of lifestyle that you become accustomed to.
I mean, here's the thing. There are more educated men than me economists, you might call them,
right,
who have shown us models before that you could rid America of the income tax by changing the other taxes. And then it's all about freedom of choice.
My brain is a magnet for random facts,
yeah.
So I'll share some with you that stuck to my brain magnet.
Okay.
But if you look at the tax base right now as it stands with the income tax and the tax laws that prevent some people under a certain income from paying taxes, you have a taxable base taking out the lowest common denominator and the top 1% who don't pay anything.
Yeah.
And even the corporations that don't pay anything. And it's like 30-something% of people pay taxes.
Yeah.
Income taxes. So if you got rid of the income tax and you put on a sales tax or like a consumption tax where it was just like a small fee that, everybody paid it.
Yeah.
So the lowest common denominator is paying it when they go to buy their 40s or their fucking Slurpees from the gas station, right? Yeah. Or the drug dealers when they go out to buy their Cadillacs or their whips.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Their chains.
I don't understand. Like, someone tried to lip-splain us on this shit.
Yeah.
You've heard me talk about this before.
Lip-splaining.
Hey, I've been consplained this week too, but that's for another show. Anyways,
yeah.
We tried to get lip-splained this week. Like, just look at the numbers. That's all you have to do.
Right. You gotta wake up pretty early in the morning to fuck me up on some numbers.
If liberals are truly, and I told somebody a liberal this once, I said, if you were truly about equity and equality, then you would be all about sales taxes because everybody would pay their fair share then.
Yeah.
Because you have to live under the assumption that rich people buy more, right?
If you live in a world where you don't think that people in the inner cities that have less than an 8th grade education are making $75,000 a month on drug sales, then you're fucking stupid.
Yeah. So
get your life together and realize that, if we have a small, let's throw a random number out of our ass. 1%. A 1% tax on everything that you purchase, right? A fair tax, as it was. Then that fucking cocksucker that's making $75,000 a month
under the table,
he can't put it in a bank because then the feds will be aware of his money.
Yeah.
So he's going to be spending it like crazy, and when he spends it like crazy, what's 1% to a drug dealer?
Exactly.
Nothing.
That's the way you gotta look at it. That's equity and equality. That's not equality. That's equity. Everybody pays their fair share.
Because we got lip-splained, I'll throw it on the other side of the argument too. The people that like to put their money in offshore accounts, but still spend their money here on yachts and expensive shit. Guess what?
You're getting taxed too.
You're still paying 1% tax.
Exactly.
And you go from 30-something% to 100%. You're guaranteed to the tax money in the coffers will be fucking outrageous.
Yeah.
And they don't have to be creepy and threaten you with force if you don't pay your income tax.
Yeah.
You can go to work for however many hours you need to, and they don't cut anything off the top.
So anybody listening who has been misread when we say taxation is theft, know that that's what we mean. I know it's a longer explanation, but that's explained out because if we're true blue libertarians, we're freedom of choice.
Right, and I also put in that video a suggestion to read a book. I mean, maybe that might help.
Yeah, read a book.
Creature from Jekyll Island's a good one.
Yeah, exactly.
Good one to read.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway.
Okay, so before we got started on the topics today, I had one more thing I wanted to address. I wanted to send this out there to a certain individual who he started using my rap name. Yeah. And, Bones, you've known me a long time. And I've been spitting mad fire for going on a decade now.
8 Mile was actually about your life.
Exactly. And
except not your mom's not.
I TM'd this rap name a really, really, really long time ago. And, I've been using it ever since, but this individual, you have started using my rap name, and I don't appreciate it. I just want you to know I don't want to get lawyers involved.
Yeah. You also don't want to handle it like the streets, because you're trying to be a better man.
I'm trying to be a gentleman about this.
Yeah.
So I'm asking you very kindly to step down from this name, because it is mine, it is my rap game, and I spit mad fire.
Yeah, drop beats.
So, Mr. Chief Keef, I would ask you to stop using my rap name.
Right. It's gross.
Immediately.
Stop.
It's mine.
Cease and desist.
It's mine. I have many names, but it's one of mine.
It'd be different if you didn't come up with it.
Yeah. But TM.
Yeah.
But, okay, so...
Real quick, sorry.
Yeah, sorry.
Again,
I just want to get that out there.
I keep pushing off the topics, but I have to bring this up.
Okay, go ahead, yeah.
I was watching through the Facebooks yesterday, and I saw that video of the United Airlines guy.
Yeah.
Now tell me, I don't know if you've read this, but I read it and that United overbooked the flight.
Yeah.
And So they came on and they were like, hey, everybody, here's what we did. We fucked up. We're sorry. We would like to ask for volunteers, because we got some employees that need to fly, to give up your seats. And everybody was like, dick.
Yeah.
So they chose one who happened to be a doctor who was on a flight to a hospital to do surgery. Mm-hmm. And they were like, get up. And he was like, he explained, I'm a doctor. And then they beat the fuck out of him.
Mm-hmm. Bloodied him terribly. And now, but here's, this is one of those issues that's kind of cool, because both sides of the aisle are like, something needs to be done about this. Like, why the fuck would they just beat the shit out of a dude who did nothing?
Yeah.
Right? Mm. Because an airline fucked up. Because here's the thing, airlines are all about making that money, so they overbook flights, which is fucked.
Yeah.
You paid for a ticket, you should get a ride.
Right. And just because they feel that it's necessary for one of their employees to go gives them the right to fuck you over.
Yeah.
Eat a fat dick.
Yeah. I hope that guy gets every cent he's going to be getting.
Paid.
I hope he gets paid. I hope he ends up owning United Airlines before this shit is fucking over.
I shared a video on our page on Facebook, and you guys should check it out if you like it.
I saw that.
From Airplane, United Airlines training film. It's pretty good.
Yeah, it is pretty good. Okay, so on to the topics of the day.
And we're back.
Of course. Oh, shit. Hold on.
Oh, no.
Our first one comes from Our Lady, St. Catherine of Collett's Corner.
Dong.
Now, before we start, I'm not going to harp on our listeners. I'm not going to we're trying to figure out a name for you guys. If you guys have a better name than this, we're going to start with this and work our way around to see which one works best. But we're going to call listeners Bone to Beers.
Bone to Beers.
Bone to Beers. Okay? So, kind of a mix of bones and tubs and viewers.
Yeah.
So, or listeners, however you want to take it.
Yes.
But, okay. Not to harp on you guys, but I'm going to harp on the topic cures for a minute. We didn't get many topics this week. Like, not normally. St. Catherine pulled through big time for us.
Boss.
We wouldn't have a show, basically, if it wasn't for her. We had a couple others, but some of you new ones who've been real strong lately kind of fucked up.
I mean, they might be living life, though, too.
That's true.
I'm here to tell you, life's happening.
But I'll tell you what, I have questions every day. Life's greatest mysteries, right?
Yeah.
So, what is it to take a minute just to send us a message?
Right.
Ask us a question.
Tie it to a piece of paper, strap that piece of paper to a brick, and throw it through my door.
Yeah, exactly. Do however means, carrier pigeon or what have you, to get us these messages.
Yes.
Okay, so anyways, sorry. I had to harp for just a minute.
I understand.
So, St. Catherine of Collett's Corner, she's the first person to give us a topic today.
But of course.
Our first topic cure. And she asked, has there ever been a movie adaptation better than the book?
See, I thought about this as I was standing naked underwater this morning, as I do. And I think Passion of the Christ. Now, I'm not trying to shit on the Bible, but I'm going to say this. Mel Gibson clearly thought that there was more hatred that needed to be spread on the Jewish people than the Bible allowed.
Yeah, I think, okay, to clarify this question a little bit, I had this feeling when I was thinking about it that is it a better adaptation, or is it just a better piece of art than what it originated from? That's the way I kind of interpreted this one, because I don't like comparing books to movies, but there are movies I feel like that in society and as an art at whole went above and beyond the source material, right?
Yeah. On the record, I just did that for the lulz. I really don't think that.
My first pick is A Clockwork Orange. Mm-hmm. I've read both the book and watched the movie many times. And though the book is good, I think the movie just surpassed the book. Because if the movie had never been made, it would have been some random, small little dystopian book that most people probably wouldn't have picked up.
Yeah. And
I think it just went above and beyond what the book was, even though they kind of changed the message of what it was originally supposed to be about. Mm. Like, the whole moral of the story was changed from the book to the movie, and I think the book had a better message, but the movie is just so goddamn good. And if you haven't watched A Clockwork Orange,
do it.
You need to go out there and do it. It is an amazing film by Stanley Kubrick, probably his best. There's another one by him on this list that I got, but
was it better than the moon landing?
Was it better than Moon Landing?
Because Stanley Kubrick filmed that.
Oh, definitely.
Okay.
Definitely.
Right.
Yeah,
Cool.
yeah.
Gotcha.
Moon Landing is a little grainy,
Yeah.
you know?
A little fucky.
A little too realistic for me.
Yeah.
But, Okay, so A Clockwork Orange, that's on my list. Go see it if you haven't seen it. It's an amazing film. It's brutal. Very brutal. Don't watch it with your kids, for fuck's sake.
No.
Oh my god. Do not watch that with children.
Unless you're a therapist and you're willing to put in hours of work.
Yeah, I was gonna say, unless you want to practice therapy
On your kid.
let them watch that. Anyways, so the next one I had was Blade Runner. Blade Runner is based off the book Do Androids Dream of Electric Sheep by Philip K. Dick. The book is great, and it adds a lot more nuance than the movie does, but the movie is so well made, and it basically changed science fiction as we know it. Mm-hmm. It brought so many new elements to science fiction that we didn't think could exist, and there's a lot of things today that wouldn't have existed if it wasn't for Blade Runner existing first. And I don't know if have you ever seen Blade Runner?
I have not.
Oh fuck, I've got it. I'll let you borrow it. But it's amazing. It's Ridley Scott. It's got Harrison Ford, and we're going to be talking about Harrison Ford here in a bit.
Yes.
Again, amazing film. And then the last one I had was The Shining, another Stanley Kubrick film.
Yeah.
Now, we're both Stephen King fans here.
Yes.
So we both have mixed feelings about... We both read The Shining. We've both seen the movie. So we have mixed feelings about the two of them. But the thing I had to do in my brain was separate the two.
Yeah.
Because they're so differentiated from each other.
The Stanley Kubrick version of The Shining is not even about the book, I don't think.
No, it's not. Watch Room 227.
Yeah, on YouTube, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
Excellent documentary.
Excellent documentary about the film The Shining by Stanley Kubrick and the possibility. And after watching the film, I now believe that The Shining, the film, is not about, the book. It's about something else.
The only times I feel like it touched on the book, other than the fact that it had to do with the Overlook Hotel, names and places, somewhat events, was the fact that he would shit on Stephen King.
Yeah.
Whenever he felt like Stephen King wouldn't shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
So here we are.
So, because I've read The Shining and I love the book. It's an amazing book on its own. The movie is nothing like it, but I feel like the movie did its own thing, and for that, it made it a really, really, really good movie.
They did a decent TV adaptation of The Shining that I liked.
I've seen that one.
It was pretty good,
and that's actually a more dedicated adaptation than the film, much more. I mean, because the film is, it's like you said, they kept names, places, and characters, but everything else was dashed away for the most part. Right. Even down to the fact that, in the book, he uses a croquet mallet, not an axe. Yeah. But, that's the thing now. In your head, when you think of The Shining, you're not thinking of a croquet mallet. You're thinking of Jack Nicholson fucking wrecking shit. Yeah. Knocking down doors, doing all sorts of shit, fucking crazy as fuck. Yeah. That's what you see in your head.
Here's Johnny!
Yeah, pretty much. And like I said, go watch Room 227. It's an amazing documentary about the fact that Stanley Kubrick is a goddamn mad genius. Yes. Who had other things going on in his head besides the adaptation of The Shining.
Right, a lot of things.
Yeah, and a lot of different theories about what that movie's really about, and then the subtle nuances, like changing the set and stuff like that just kind of he did it at a subconscious level to fuck with your head.
Picking the typewriter.
Exactly. And changing the typewriter.
The Indians' heads on. It's fucking crazy.
Yeah, that documentary is fucking nuts.
I would say that I hope, in reference to this question and with Stephen King, that new It movie's coming out in a couple of months. Yeah. The book was really good. I was not too... the movie fucked me up because Tim Curry is a terrifying son of a bitch by himself.
Yes, he is.
Let alone a clown. Mm-hmm. But I hope that they... Because I don't know if you watched where they compared the trailer. They basically redid the entire trailer.
Yeah, I saw that.
You can watch them side by side, and they're pretty much the same thing. I hope that this new version of It is better than the book. Even though the book was awesome.
Dude, it's hard, man. Because, like I said, we're both huge fans of Stephen King. I'm balls deep in The Wolves of Calla right now. Yes. Is it Calla or Calla? I always mispronounce it.
I always call it Calla in my head.
But they even in the book, they mention someone mispronounces it as Calla. And they say, no, I think it's with a high A, like Calla. Yeah. So I'm balls deep in The Wolves of Calla right now, which is the 5th book in the Dark Tower.
I can't wait for you to get farther.
And it's the further I get, the more I'm starting to think that the Dark Tower might end up being my favorite fantasy book series of all time.
Oh, it's fucking heavy. I'm not sure if you're going to do the same thing I did because I was at a third shift position in my life. But the first thing I did when I finished the 7th book was immediately go back to the first one. It was crazy. I've never had a series do that to me.
I might have to. I don't know. It depends on what happens. But I've done it before. But yeah, another recommendation: read Dark Tower series.
Oh my
it's
god,
fucking amazing.
Do it.
And the thing is, like the fucked up part about the Dark Tower is, it's not just the 7 books plus the smaller book, the little side story they did.
Yeah,
there is like 20 other books in Stephen King's sphere of writing that are involved in that series.
Yeah, even as he was writing, like his, I forget what the first book was, Salem's Lot.
Yeah, Salem's Lot.
But if you go back and look at his entire body of work, any of the books that have a rose in the front of the book have to do with the Dark Tower. Yeah. Even before he had started writing the Dark Tower.
Carrie was his first book.
That's right.
But then I think Salem's Lot might have been his second or his third book. It was one of his first ones.
Quick spoiler alert question. Mm-hmm. Have you got into this part of the story where they start going, I don't know if it's Todash or traveling
they've started
into the real world?
Yeah, they've started going Todash.
Have they talked to Stephen King yet?
No.
Oh.
They're starting to see, they're seeing what they call them vagues.
Yeah.
Where it's like dead people that haven't crossed over yet. Mm. And that's as far as I've got. And they've seen the Rose. Like they finally visited the Rose. I'm sorry, everyone out there is probably like, what the fuck is this shit, man? I don't fucking read this shit.
When you get to the part where they go and see Stephen King,
oh, I bet you'll be fucking amazing.
I hope that you have a cloth to catch the blood that runs out of your nose. I was fucking blown away.
Fuck yeah, I'm excited now. But
especially if I'll have to let you read his book on writing because it touches on like his drug addiction and his accident that he had.
Oh yeah, he got hit by a car. Yeah,
it talks about that in the Dark Tower series.
Oh shit,
fuck,
holy shit.
Yeah.
But do you have any movie adaptations that you think were better than the book?
Nope. Just my offhand comment
about Passion of the Christ.
About Passion of the Christ, just to kind of shoot shots at Mel Gibson, and like I said, I have high hopes for the new It movie.
Yeah. Okay then.
Because fuck clowns.
Yeah. He definitely, Stephen King hit a deep nerve with most of us when it comes to Pennywise the Dancing Clown. But thank you, St. Catherine, for your question.
Thank you.
Our next topic comes from the Topicure, Aaron the Red. And Aaron the Red asks, zombie apocalypse. You can only have one melee weapon and one firearm with 10,000 rounds of ammo. What are they? Well, I thought about this for a little while, and I came up with, for melee, either aluminum bat or a call to Shaun of the Dead, a cricket bat.
Shaun.
Because I think when people watch zombie stuff, they always see people with like fucking knives and machetes and shit like that. And you know what the problem is with that shit? And not to get grim, but I worked in a slaughterhouse. Yeah. So I have an in-depth knowledge of flesh and how it works.
Right.
And the problem with edged weapons and flesh is that they have a really bad tendency to get stuck.
Yeah.
Especially when they meet bone.
It's probably not good when you're trying to kill a horde that's coming after your flesh.
Yeah. So I would stay away from edged weapons, with all due respect. I think a bat or something like that, a blunt weapon would be a lot better. Simply because unless you have mad skills with an edged weapon, I wouldn't do it. Because the last thing you want to do is, first of all, be close enough to a zombie to have to strike it. Mm-hmm. Let alone the fact you take one swipe at it and say you miss, hit its neck, and you just lodge the fucking machete, axe, or whatever the fuck else you had into its fucking neck and right into a vertebrae, and now it's stuck, and you're within arm's reach of this cocksucker.
Yes.
So I would stay away from edged weapons all the way. All blunt weapons, because those are nice. Like, even no edged weapons, nothing that could get jammed in their head, basically.
Not a good thing.
You want things that are just going to glance right back off again.
I was trying to find the name of the weapon. I thought it was samgyok, but that's not it. It's like I think it's an African weapon. It's basically like a solid rifle stock with a weighted steel ball in the end.
I've seen those,
and a tip. That's what I would choose. But this Polish mace looks pretty baller.
Yeah, that does look baller.
Coldsteel.com.
Yeah.
$139.99.
Yeah, all your zombie weapons needs. Coldsteel.com.
And I would say a .22 rifle.
That's actually, I said that too. I actually went out and looked and picked the one I would want. It was a Ruger semi-automatic .22 with a scope.
There you go. That's all you need.
Yeah, because one, I think one of my favorite zombie things was Max Brooks's Zombie Survival Guide.
Oh yeah, really good.
And really good book, and it's actually very practical. And, here's the thing. You're carrying 10,000 rounds. That's a lot of ammo, but I took into effect, if you were carrying something heavier, like a 223 or a AK round, that would be heavy as fuck.
Yeah.
10,000 rounds of that ammo would be fucking wearing, probably about 70 pounds of extra weight.
Probably, if not more.
And it takes up a lot of space, too. So now you don't have space for food or water.
But means you're going to be tired as you scream as they rip your lower intestines out through your belly button.
Exactly. So 10,000 rounds of 22 ammo, that's light.
Yeah. The biggest problem you have with 10,000 rounds of 22 ammo is after you've spent a couple days on a barn roof shooting zombies as they come out of the woods, is going to be the fucking smell.
Oh, yeah.
From the pile of bodies that you have surrounding the barn.
Yeah. You're going to need a lot of frankincense to cover that up.
You're going to be down there moving them and get a fucking cut on a thorn bush and get an infection and die.
Exactly. I mean, you want to have all the supplies you can get, and carrying heavy ammo is not going to help you.
No.
Plus, I know for a fact, once again, to get blue on this subject, but I worked at a slaughterhouse, I know a 22 rounds can penetrate the skull of a human because I've seen it penetrate the skull of a boar, and I've seen it penetrate the skull of a cow.
Yeah. It's also really good at wrecking a live body, too. Like, if you have to worry, if you take into, like, the account Walking Dead, where after a certain period of time in that series, the zombies were no longer the problem, it was people.
Yeah.
And I remember I was a kid, I think it was, like, teenager. My mom got a squad call on Thanksgiving. They were down the road from where we were eating dinner, and this kid was shooting a 22 with his family, and it ricocheted off whatever was behind the target.
Yeah.
Hit him in the neck.
Oh, shit.
And then went and played fucking high five with all of his internal organs.
Jesus Christ.
Dead.
He died?
Oh, yeah.
Holy fuck.
Killed the shit out of him.
Yeah, and the thing is, like, I think my biggest strategy for surviving the zombie apocalypse would be, one, having as little interaction with actual zombies as humanly possible.
Right.
Like, imagine 28 Days Later zombies, which is probably a more realistic approach to a zombie apocalypse as it is. Something that's not dead, something that's quite alive and fast.
Yeah.
And likes to fucking puke blood on you.
That's what I couldn't believe when we were in our last end of the world scenario with Ebola. They were talking about an experimental vaccine that they were going to give people that would not only tackle Ebola, but it would also tackle rabies.
Oh, shit.
Because let's fucking mix them.
Yeah.
That's a great idea.
Yeah. You're asking for it.
So you basically run the risk of infecting a person with rabies, who then becomes stark raving mad and is shitting and throwing up everywhere. So it's like, what was that game for the 360?
Left 4 Dead.
Left 4 Dead. So you've got boomers.
Boomers all over the place.
Shitting water and throwing up blood as they try to rip your fucking eyes out of your head. Tell me that's not a real life zombie apocalypse.
Yeah.
We narrowly missed that.
Now, if it was a Left 4 Dead scenario and you had different types of zombies,
Yeah.
that'd be all bad. Because you remember smokers? Those were the fucking worst.
Those would be Jeff from Houston Woods. Yeah.
But,
Spitters.
yeah, thanks for that question, Aaron. I hope we answered it well for you.
That came the same night as, didn't Dr. Doug Hurdy have a question?
It wasn't really a question. He wanted us to talk about inbreeding in the Middle East. It was addressed on Joe Rogan's podcast.
Yeah.
And I didn't know how to put it in the show in a proper topic-cure kind of fashion.
Sorry to fuck up the rhythm.
But Dr. Douglas Hurdy, maybe on...
Not a doctor.
Not a doctor. On our next show, we will tackle that topic.
Yeah, I'd like to have him in studio for that one.
Yeah, but we wanted to give... We didn't want to steal any thunder from Joey Rogan, the Podfather.
No.
Like we talked about in the last show.
Right.
We're trying to get into his good graces. So
Suck his ring.
yeah. But thanks for the topic, Aaron.
Yes.
Next one comes from St. Catherine of College Corner again.
Ding, ding.
Ding. And she asked us, who is the most badass Harrison Ford hero?
Yeah.
She asked, was it Indiana Jones, Han Solo, Rick Deckard, or Richard Kimble?
It's not even it's a non-starter for me. It's definitely Han Solo.
See, mine was Indiana Jones. And here's the thing. I wrote down, I said, okay, I was like, all right, she made this list. I was like, I'll give all of them their own moniker, right?
Yeah.
To me, Indiana Jones is the most badass. Han Solo is the slickest. Rick Deckard, he's the character I was talking about from Blade Runner.
Yeah.
The character he plays in Blade Runner. He's the coolest.
Yes.
And then Richard Kimble, which for a minute I couldn't remember who the fuck Richard Kimble was, but he's his character in The Fugitive.
I see.
And I said he has the best cardigan.
Which Dr. Doug Hurdy could probably... He's listening right now. He's talking about cardigans. He got excited.
I have a cardigan on right now.
Yes.
And I love it.
Rocking it.
Yeah. Rocking it like Mr. Rogers.
There it is.
But, no, I mean, okay. Here's the thing. Like, Han Solo, yes, he's cool as fuck, and he's done some cool shit. He's, still kind of like, he's a pirate. He's a smuggler.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Slanging.
Yeah.
Space Dick.
Yeah, singing Space Dick or Dope or whatever else he does.
You know, he's dropping in random bars, drinking whatever it is they've got on tap, maybe some skooma for his nose, and then just slaying the space pussy.
Yeah.
Fucking tearing it up. And then when he gets confronted with a group of people who lend him money for some reason, because he's not a known swindler, he talks his way out of it or shoots the person they came to collect.
Exactly.
Boom.
Indiscriminately.
Yeah, no problem.
But, well, Indiana Jones... I don't know. I've always had a childhood hard-on for Indiana Jones. It's just I watched all the movies growing up and I love them except Crystal Kingdom. It's a piece of shit. Anyways, I had to put that out there before I went on this diatribe about Indiana Jones.
Right.
I just think he's cool as fuck because one, he's just supposed to be like some like teacher.
Yeah.
Right. And I remember a comedian once saying that he has to be one of the shittiest teachers alive because all he does is go into class, grumble some shit about some tombs. And he's like, I gotta go. I'm gonna be gone for like 2 months.
Looking straight hungover.
Yeah, and then goes and fights Nazis.
Yeah.
Which is awesome.
Thank God.
He fucking... That is his weapons of choice. A whip, a gun. No white man can get away with brandishing a pistol and a whip anymore. Fuck.
Not anymore.
No. We've crawled up out of that age. It can't happen no more.
It's over with.
I mean, fuck, I'd probably get in trouble if I cosplayed as Indiana Jones at this point.
Exactly. Be offensive to somebody.
Oh, big time.
I think the most badass thing about the Indiana Jones moniker series was the fact that, like, that one scene, and I forget the movie name, but it was where they were supposed to have, like, some epic melee duel.
Yeah, that was in Raiders.
Dude steps out with a sword and does all this impressive, silly shit, and he's like, fuck this, and just shoots him, and they went with it.
Yeah.
Because that's pretty badass.
Yeah.
Thinking on the fly.
Oh, yeah. Well, you know what that was from, right? Okay, Harrison Ford had diarrhea that day. He had diarrhea and he wasn't feeling well, and they had this whole like big thing choreographed out where he was supposed to sword fight the dude and shit, and he wasn't feeling well, so he's like, I can't do it. Listen, Steven Spielberg, I can't do this scene today.
I got water coming out of my butt.
I'm shitting real bad. I'm sweating.
I don't feel good.
We're in fucking Tunisia or some shit.
Yeah.
I just ate some fucking leaves wrapped in rice, and I think I got to shit again.
Yeah. I'm shitting right now.
I'm slowly leaking out right now. I got some toilet paper wedged up my ass to collect it, but
man pond.
It's starting to seep through.
Yeah.
Can I just like shoot this guy, and that's the scene? And, Steven Spielberg, oh my God, that's fucking awesome. Just do it, Harrison. Do it.
Brilliant.
But yeah, I think that is a pretty badass scene right there. And that and the fact that Indiana Jones always knows when the shit's about to get real bad.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, how did he know, hey, close your eyes. Don't look at this shit, because it's about to get nasty in this shit.
Look away. And
then everybody fucking gets electrocuted, or gets their face exploded, or anything like that. And that happens in all 3 movies where, like... The bad guy always gets his comeuppance in the most gruesome way possible. I think in Temple of Doom, I don't even remember. I think they got thrown in a pit of lava. No, they got eaten by alligators.
Yes.
No, crocodiles. They got eaten by crocodiles. That's raw as fuck.
Very important distinction.
Yeah. And then, in Last Crusade, the guy drinks from the wrong cup because he presumptuously thinks for some reason that Christ the Carpenter would have a gilded cup with jewels encrusted in it.
Nope.
Instead of a little baby fucking wooden poor-ass cup.
Yeah.
And he fucking withers away in front of that woman's eyes as she screams. Yeah. And then she falls to her doom, too.
Yeah, she should.
Yeah, she should, because she betrayed Indy.
Yes.
Fuck her.
Liar.
But, Han Solo the slickest. Because if you watch those movies, like, every awesome part with him involves him either A, running away, or running into something that's about to be really bad.
Yeah.
I mean, and plus, like, I feel like he got some of the coolest moments in the Star Wars series. Like, said the best lines, like the I know line from Empire is an ad-lib too. He was supposed to say I love you too, but he even knew that Han Solo wouldn't say that.
Nope.
So he ad-libbed that shit, and
I know.
We're all the better for it, because that's probably one of the best lines in a movie ever.
Yeah, social memes still to this day.
Oh yeah. But, and then Rick Deckard, I said he's the coolest just because we talked about Blade Runner already, but...
Yeah.
Blade Runner is this awesome sci-fi neo-noir kind of like fucking detective story where, he's hunting down replicants, which are basically androids that look like people. And he's a Blade Runner. Blade Runners are people that hunt down these replicants because they're not allowed on Earth.
Right.
I think my favorite scene in Blade Runner has to involve, he just got the shit beat out of him. And it's at the end of the movie, and he goes back to his apartment, and he pours himself some liquor. And he takes a sip from it, and he's still beat up real bad. And as he, lowers the glass, you see blood seep into the glass. And for some reason, that always stuck with me. Like, that is fucking hard.
Hard.
Yeah, and then Richard Kimble, best cardigan.
For sure.
By far. And best cliff diver.
Yes.
I didn't kill my wife.
Yeah.
I don't care. Anyways.
Yes.
But thanks for that question, St. Catherine. Our next one comes from a new contributor. He wouldn't give us a name, so we gave him one, and his is Morgoth the Ticklish.
Oh, that's a good name.
That is a good name. I like that one.
Yes.
And he asked, if you were offered a clone of yourself that is roughly 50 IQ points lower than your own for simple tasks and chores, would you accept?
Sold. Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
You know, it's funny. I was talking to Tobeans about this last night, and she's like, no way, I wouldn't do that. And I was like, shit, I'd do it. Fuck. I was like, and I already came up with a name for him. His name would be Garbage Tubs. I mean, here's the thing. You think, oh, that's not nice. But here's the thing, like, you could treat this person like shit because they're you, right?
Right.
They're the version of you hate the most because they're dumb as fuck. They're you at your worst.
Yeah.
You know, you have to make sure you take care of your garbage person.
Yeah.
You know,
Keep them alive.
You got to comb their hair. You know, give them occasional baths.
It basically would show you the relationship that most people's brains have with their bodies. Because most people hate themselves.
I mean, all you have to do is, like, feed him Cheerios.
Yeah.
And then keep him alive.
You have to wipe his ass, or would he have enough IQ?
Oh, no, he's got enough to wipe his own ass.
Okay.
Yeah. He's like I said, he's a big, dumb, mongoloid version of you.
Would you fuck him?
No.
If you got really drunk?
And maybe let him jerk me off.
Yeah. I mean, it's not gay. It's you.
Yeah, it's you. So what's gay about that?
How many hand jobs have you already given yourself?
Exactly.
Quit kidding yourselves.
Yeah, Garbage Tubs. He would live in my garage.
Yeah.
He'd have a cot, of course. I'd take care of him. But, you know, if he fucked something up, like, you know, he put my delicates on the regular cycle in the washer, there'd have to be punishment.
Yeah. Burn him with a cigar or something.
Yeah, exactly.
Strike him.
You know, every once in a while, like, you know, give him a treat, give him a cigarette. Like, hey, boy, you want a treat? Just give him a cigarette. Here you go.
Garbage Tubs, light cigarette. And he just eats it.
Garbage Tubs.
Yes.
But, yeah, I would definitely have a clone of myself, and I would teach him how to mow my lawn and do my dishes and walk my dog.
Trim your pubes.
Yeah. It's kind of like, makes me think of Brave New World, where they had, like, I think they were called the Epsilons, or the Deltas, maybe.
Yeah.
And they were basically, like, monkey people that they used for the most menial tasks in society.
Right.
I mean, that's basically what my Garbage Tubs would be. But, you know, and then, you know, I assume Garbage Tubs wouldn't live as long as I did, so I'd have to get another Garbage Tubs.
It'd be like a runt.
Yeah. Yeah, it would be like a room. From, once again, the Dark Tower comes up again.
Yes.
But, because there's in Wolves of Calla, there's this area where everybody has twins for the most part, and every, like, 20 years or so, periodically, these people called the Wolves show up and take one of the twins, and when they return them, they're ruined, and they're, like, big mongoloid people that don't live too long.
You grow to be giant size
and do menial tasks.
Really like mashed potatoes.
Yeah.
Or just potatoes. I'm not sure if they're mashed.
Yeah. Garbage Tubs would be like that.
For sure.
Do you think I'd just keep a rain barrel in the yard for him?
You'd have to.
He could drink out of and bathe himself in?
Keep him happy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fucking A.
But yeah, Garbage Tubs. Thank you, Morgoth. I like that question a lot.
Yeah. You ticklish bastard.
Yeah, you ticklish son of a bitch. But, okay, the last one comes from St. Catherine again. And I actually had a hard time at this topic. It racked my brain to try to figure out how to do this, and I think I might have been grasping at straws. But
I've got two.
She asked, oh, you got two. Okay,
Yeah.
So you succeeded where I failed. Okay, so she asked, what children's television character or host would make the best movie villain? I'll let you go first since you got two of them.
One, just because nobody really, at least I don't understand his background, and I've watched enough of his psychotic behavior. Pee Wee Herman.
I have a soft spot for Pee Wee, though. I've always loved Pee Wee Herman.
Nah, man.
I mean, I can see where you're going at, because, you know, what's his name is, I almost said Paul Newman. I was like, nope, that's not it.
Yeah.
But, no, but he is kind of skeevy, because, you know, he was jacking off in the theater.
So you see all of his proclivities in the movie, and then you find out in real life he's, like, jerking off in a adult movie theater.
Yeah, that's true.
So you got that, and then the other one is a mass serial killer, and it's the guy from the original Blue's Clues.
Oh, fucking Steve.
Yeah, always singing songs.
Yeah.
And trying to lead you to the body.
Yeah.
And then you find out that it's just a hole where your body's going to go.
You find out that he feeds the bodies to Blue.
Yeah.
And he leaves Blue clues or to the bodies.
Right.
And then Blue in turn leaves him clues.
For sure.
To find new victims so that Blue can eat. I can see that now. Holy shit.
Yeah.
That's fucked.
Fuck you, Steve.
But mine's dumb as fuck. I said LeVar Burton from Reading Rainbow.
Uh-huh.
I said he would trap children's souls into literature.
That's
In nightmare scenarios. You know what I mean?
Was he Geordie also?
He was Geordie
Oh my
from
God.
Next Generation. Yeah.
So he's an immortal.
Yeah.
Fuck.
I mean, he hasn't aged barely at all since, like, the 70s. Back when he played Kunta Kinte in Roots.
Like a fine wine.
I almost said the Roots. he was Kunta Kinte in the Roots.
In the Roots.
But, yeah, I figured, like, almost like a Freddy Krueger scenario, where instead of, like, dreams, he would, like, have a book, but he could have any book he wanted.
Yeah.
So if you were a bad child, he could put you in, say, you know, a Stephen King book, for example. All of a sudden, you're in a rain slicker, and you got a little wax-sealed boat that you're letting go down the gutter. Like, oh, this story looks familiar. I'm going to chase this boat, though.
Yeah.
Hi, Georgie.
Just a quick side note for everybody's enjoyment. You should go to YouTube and type in Reading Rainbow DMX.
I've seen that. That was fucking good.
Really good.
Somebody was a genius. But yeah, I would definitely... That was about the only one I could come up with, because I didn't want to demonize Mr. Rogers, because another person that I have a soft spot for.
Nah.
Just because Mr. Rogers was the shit. I'm sorry. Everything about him was fucking cool, man.
The worst thing I could say about him is that when he takes you into that tunnel, or the playroom...
The land of make-believe?
Yeah, he fucks you.
I mean,
That's about it.
That's pretty grim and dark.
Yeah.
But
At least he changed his shoes.
Exactly. Well, you got to. You know, when the police ask for his shoes,
Exactly.
you know, he gives them the ones he wears on the streets, and they don't have any blood on them.
Yeah, these are moccasins. These are not matching the footprints that we have on the scene.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, that's all our topics for today.
Yeah. We wish you all good health in this perilous time.
Oh yeah.
Into the world scenarios, just waiting.
Yeah, like was said in the anonymous not anonymous video the other day. Hug your children and read a book and enjoy the weather. It's raining today, but yesterday I sat in the sun all day. It was amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was nice. Thanks to Ryan Simpson again for his delicious musical magic.
Oh, definitely.
And Evelyn.
Yeah.
You know?
Evelyn, hey, I don't know if you're listening or something, but we appreciate it. We also appreciate Catherine and Jess.
Yes. You guys are, you know...
You're champions of the people.
You're basically the lifeblood of this operation, and we are about one stone's throw away from having everything ordered.
Yeah. So
all the new microphones and...
Fucking make this a deluxe operation going on here.
Mixers with cameras.
But, yeah, and if anybody has a suggestion on what we call people who give us topics and people who listen, send it to us, because right now we got Topicure and Bontebier. Yeah, that's what I said, Bontebier.
Yeah.
Sounds like a city in French Quebec.
Yes.
But
if you can think of something more American and flashy, then we'll definitely hear it.
Oh, yeah, and maybe even use it. But thanks you guys for listening. Check out the webpage, www.bonesandtubs.com. There's new LL comics every single week, and they're pretty good.
I like the other one, too. What was his name?
Captain Outrage.
Captain Outrage.
Oh, yeah, Captain Outrage. Captain Outrage, in hindsight, I talked to St. Even about it, and he was telling me that, you know, he was trying to make it all fit well, but the problem is that the speech bubbles in the comic, you know, for what they wanted to say, made the script kind of small, and he apologizes for that. He'll try to work that out next time. Captain Outrage isn't going to be a weekly thing. That's going to be, he said that would be like
societally based.
Yeah, it would be based on when he felt the inspiration to do another Captain Outrage.
Right. What's funny is I didn't even see that, what's her name?
Kendall Jenner.
I didn't even see that fucking ad until right before you showed me what St. Even had drawn.
Yeah.
PewDiePie did a video of it.
Yeah.
And he was talking about how bullshit it is that Pepsi is one of the main... Because have you heard about the adpocalypse on YouTube?
Yeah, yeah.
So all these people take their money out of YouTube because of 5 racist videos out of billions or how many fucking videos are on YouTube. Pepsi, being one of the largest buyer of ad space, decides we don't want to do anything that's controversial, so we're going to remove all of our ad funding from YouTube. Yeah. And then they go and pay for that multi-million-dollar piece of shit commercial. Ooh-wee.
And, you know, like I said, St. Even said when the inspiration came for Captain Outrage comics, they'd come. But otherwise, LL will be on every single week. And stay tuned, because he told me that this isn't like, they're not one-off comics. They'll all be tied together. They'll have there's a continuing story in the LL comics.
Yeah.
That'll unfold as we go along.
Ever evolving.
It's ever evolving.
It's basically like looking through a window into an alternate reality.
Exactly.
He's a real creature.
Yeah.
Real problems.
And he shared with me, like, you'll be seeing it last week, but he showed me what he did for this week, and it was really funny.
I'm excited.
I laughed at it.
I laughed out loud.
Yeah.
Lol.
So check out LL Comics on our webpage. They're really awesome. And check out our Patreon if you feel extra special. We're always looking for more donors to the cause of us doing this show and doing videos later and doing all that stuff. Thank you all for listening. Am I missing anything? We thanked Ryan Simpson.
Yeah, I don't know.
Thank you, St. Catherine, Aaron the Red, Morgoth the Ticklish for the topics this week.
To everybody that gave topics today and every day.
Yeah, and all the time. And, to all our listeners, send us more topics. We love to hear this shit. We hadn't heard from Aaron the Red for a few episodes, but I'm glad he's back.
Yes. Soulless.
Yeah, but we love him anyways.
We do.
Thank you guys for listening. We hope to see you guys next week for another episode of Bones and Tubs.
We love you.
We really do.
You had me fooled back then, yeah, but now I see the proof. You're only out for yourself, you're out to make your own truth. I'm on to you, I see the malice in your eyes. Your followers still grovel at your feet, believing every fucking lie. Wipe that smile off your face. It's too late to change what you've become. The song is sung, I'm over this charade. Punish me enough for today. Punish me. Punish me. You can't take it all back. You can't give what you don't have. But I have learned to trust so few, 'cause I trusted you, and you became someone new. Wipe that smile off your face. It's too late to change what you've become. The song is sung, I'm over this charade. You punished me enough for today. Absolve yourself of guilt. Tear down what's been built. Keep me in chains. Make me feel your pain. Absolve yourself of guilt. Tear down what's been built. Keep me in chains. Make me feel your pain.